your tits and swing your dicks. It's Friday, kids. You know what that means. You're back in time for another action-packed installment of your favorite weekly show, the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, this has been a fucking crazy-ass week, hasn't it? I mean, have we just all lost our goddamn minds? Well, we got a lot of hot topics to talk about on today's show, but before I get the show kicked off, once again, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. Yep, going with my old standby, little Jack Daniels, because it's been that kind of week. So salud, to drink up and be somebody. Okay, well, I mean, I don't even know where to start this week. Okay, it just, I mean, there's wars, there's fucking stupidity, there's racism. I don't even know where to go. But you know what I'll do? I'm going to start with the stupidity. So, if you saw my Snapchat post earlier this week, I got banned again from YouTube for this time for 2 weeks. Okay? Fun. That's twice in the same month. So the way it works, right? They pulled one of the shows from May or March or something. I don't remember. A couple weeks ago, and they said I was spreading COVID misinformation because I was talking about how I broke my foot taking a shit. Well, actually, they said medical misinformation, so I just assumed they meant COVID. Maybe people don't believe you could break your foot taking a shit. I don't know, but that was strike one. So they kept me from posting for a week. This time, they said I was spreading election misinformation. And they pulled an episode. It was from October 22nd. And in the episode, I was making fun of the new Superman, right? And how, that's a whole other story. But I was making fun of the new Superman, and I said, if this Superman wants to fucking do something worthwhile, that he should fly backwards around the earth and reverse its rotation and turn back time to the last election. I was actually I was making a cross-reference between the Superman movie and all the fucking bullshit that we've been going through in the last year and a half. And apparently YouTube found that to be election misinformation, yanked the episode, strike two. Now I can't post for 2 weeks. If I get another strike within 90 days, they're going to pull the channel. And that's probably fucking inevitable at this point. But never fear, true believers. Your friendly neighborhood maniac can now be found on Rumble. So I wasn't going to go 2 weeks without posting. You know that, right? So I set up a Rumble account. I started uploading I uploaded last week's episode to Rumble. It's a slow process, apparently, when you link your YouTube account to Rumble. So I linked my YouTube account to Rumble, and the episodes are supposed to migrate over. But I did download the last year's worth of episodes, so I have it stored on my hard drive just in case. And I couldn't download them all because I think I would have needed like fucking 9 terabytes. And I downloaded all the cooking shows. So if for some reason they don't migrate over, if YouTube yanks the channel before the migration's complete, I already got them. I'll upload them to Rumble. So go to Rumble, subscribe, like, and share with all of your friends. Welcome, Rumblers. Okay? So if there's any new people that are just landing on the show, of course the show's named the Friday Wrap-Up, and basically what we do is wrap up the week on Friday and all the craziness that week had with it. So it's a variety show. A little of this, little of that. Hopefully you laugh. Hopefully it makes you think. And if you're liberal and you're watching, keep watching. Maybe you'll fucking learn something, okay? Most liberals think that I don't want them to watch or that I'm scolding them. Well, I probably I am scolding you, yes. But I hope you tune in and you watch because, again, you might learn something, okay? The whole goal is to maybe reverse some of the fucking bad information in your head, okay? Fix some of the problems that your brain is creating in the world today. So, like I said, it's probably inevitable YouTube is going to yank the channel. Matter of fact, if they don't, I'd be fucking shocked. But now you can find me on Rumble. Now, I guess because, see, here's what I think. Because there's a lot of things that go into this. I mean, perhaps somebody complained that I'm on their radar, so I don't think they have an algorithm or anything like that. I think they actually probably have somebody assigned to monitor all of my shit. I feel sorry for the poor bitch that got assigned to watch every single episode of the Friday wrap-up. There's 2 years worth of shows. Okay, yeah, we've been doing this since 2020, kids, right? So there's 2 years worth of shows. So some poor bastard had to sit there and fucking watch 2 years worth of this insanity, okay? I mean, there must be an entire wing at Bellevue full of these people screaming, biting themselves, licking the walls. Fuck them. I hope they have good insurance. The reason behind all of this, why YouTube is really like cracking down, and probably most social media outlets. Now, Rumble is based in Canada, so I don't think they're part of this equation because they're more conservative oriented. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to have to talk in code sometimes when I'm talking about certain subjects. You know what I'm talking about? So just watch the face, okay? You'll be able to get the gist of what I mean. Biden's Department of Homeland Security is now labeling labels any misinformation domestic terrorism. Okay, and what is terrorism and misinformation? Whatever the fuck they say it is. If you have any kind of a thought that doesn't agree with the way the left thinks, okay, with regard to so far it's just limited to COVID and vaccines, or if you should question the past presidential election in any way. I mean, don't believe your lying eyes, kids. You disagree with them, they fucking censor you. Okay, that's what they consider misinformation or domestic terrorism. You know where else they do that? China! You know why? Because they're fucking communists. Listen, they can pull my content. They can put me in a timeout. They can threaten me all the fuck they want. Okay? But they can't shut me up. You know why? Because I got a big mouth. Okay? My friend Jackie Gleason said it the best. So the left regards the Constitution as a bunch of useless suggestions. That's what we've basically come to realize. First, they come for your guns, so you can't fight, can't protect yourself. Then they take away your freedom of speech, so you can't organize or converse with people who still have a shred of fucking sense left in their heads. Okay? And every day, little by little, they get away with taking more and more of your freedoms away. Okay? Wait us here. Sit over there. Don't talk to him. Don't listen to that. Before you know it, it's, yes, master, I'm a getting. Ooh, master, don't beat me with that hose no more. Okay? I'll wear my mask. I take my medicine. Ooh, yes, master, I ain't gonna say that no more. Right? That's what it's coming to, okay? Need I remind you, kids? See? This is why they stopped teaching history in school, okay? Because it makes people think. All right? Need I remind you that the very same group of people that scream terrorism, that scream treason, terrorism, racism, and any other kind of fuckingism that's out there are the same people that seceded from the Union and waged actual war on Washington, D.C. and the rest of the North because they didn't want to give up their slaves. Okay, that's the same fucking people, the same political party that's running the country right now. Okay, in case you were unaware. Now, it looks as though they want to enslave everyone to some kind of a degree. Because basically, that's what communism is. And that's where we're fucking heading. All right? Remember, kids, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. All right, kids. On another Biden blunder, Russia has invaded Ukraine. I said it was gonna fucking happen. I told you Biden basically greenlit it when he goes, well, a little incursion's okay. We'll just scold them. Now, in less than 24 hours, the Russians sacked the entire fucking country. Now they're just playing cleanup. Okay, now, I mean, first of all, I don't understand how nobody saw this coming. Okay, so let me break this all down for you. Okay, Putin does not respect Joe Biden, nor did he fucking respect Obama. Okay, he wasn't afraid of them because he knew they were fucking pussies. I say it. Yeah, that's not misinformation. That's a fact. He behaved himself when Trump was president. And everyone said, well, Trump must be in Putin's pocket. No. Putin's not a stupid man. Okay? He may be a little malevolent, but he's not a stupid man. The guy's ex-KGB. The guy ran the fucking KGB. So his heyday, okay, his glory days, were the good old days of the USSR. This motherfucker wants the Soviet Union back. He said it. Okay? He's not even like trying to hide it. He goes, no, we want Soviet Union back. Okay? This guy loves the Soviet Union. He probably goose-stepping around his fucking house. He's probably got like Stalin pajamas on. He dresses like fucking Lenin on Halloween. Okay? He's got pictures of Peter the Great all over his fucking house. His imaginary friend is probably Tsar Nicholas. Like, this guy is like Captain Communism. Okay? All right? So that's basically what he wants to do. He wants to reestablish the Soviet Union. So he went fucking bananas when the Ukraine started talking to NATO. Because here's the thing. NATO was established after World War II because they basically dismantled the German army after we won, and basically to prevent another scenario like this. Ish. I mean, the last time there was a NATO fueled war. Well, I shouldn't say it was the last time, but anyhow, so he didn't want the Ukraine to join NATO because if he decided to attack the Ukraine to conquer it while it's a NATO country, then he's basically declaring war on all of the European countries, including the United States. Any act of aggression on a NATO country, basically World War III. Now, that's why he was a little bit nervous. So he started positioning troops around the Ukraine. Now, the United States didn't do shit. Okay? Now, not that I'm saying we should go to war with Russia, please. That's the last fucking thing we need. Now, I'm going to elaborate on that a little further. But here's the problem here. Okay? We, after Chernobyl, I believe, okay, or at some point, we convinced the Ukraine to dismantle all of its nuclear arms. Okay, and the reason that they had them is they said, well, worried about Russia, going to fucking invade us. And we gave them, us and the UK, gave the Ukrainian government guarantees that if that should happen, we would come to their defense. And that's been an ironclad promise forever. Now, Putin knew that, and that's why he didn't push it when Trump was president, because he knows Trump doesn't give a fuck. Trump's a counterpuncher. So Trump had a fairly, cordial relationship, but I mean that's smart business. You keep your enemies close type of thing. But he also knew Trump's a counterpuncher. So if you test him, it's not going to go well. Okay, the last thing they want is a fucking conflict with the United States, especially at that point, because when Trump was president, remember, we were energy independent, so we didn't give a fuck. You want to go to war? We take you to war. You know what I mean? So in comes Joe Biden. First fucking order of business, he closes the Keystone Pipeline. He eliminates petroleum and energy independence in the United States. Now we're relying on foreign oil. You know where we get a lot of our oil from these days? Russia. Okay? He even granted Russia another fucking pipeline. Bigger income stream. And now we're buying fucking oil from Russia. So is the rest of Europe. This delighted Putin. He realized he had a fucking retard in the U.S. So, this guy starts massing troops along the border of the Ukraine for months now. All right? We didn't do shit. We didn't warn him. We didn't say a fucking word. Okay? Did a lot of finger wagging, like, don't you do that. But there was no real fucking threat. Putin is because he's KGB, he's of the ideology that you probe with a bayonet. If you don't get resistance, you push fucking further. Okay, when you hit steel, you stop. Hasn't hit any steel yet with the United States, so he keeps pushing. Now, like I said, Putin wants to basically recreate the USSR. So he invades the Ukraine, which I said this was going to happen. 24 hours, and basically sacked the country. Now he's batting cleanup. Now, the problem that he's having right now is he thought this was going to be a lot easier than it is, because the Ukrainian people are arming up and fighting back. Good for them. These are tough motherfuckers, by the way. All right? Don't fuck with these people. Especially, like, these Eastern Europeans are not fucking, they're not wired right. So, they're trying to get all the women and children out of the Ukraine, get them into Poland, Romania, whatever. Long story short, the people are arming up and they're fighting back. And the fucking Russian soldiers are having a problem. First of all, the Russian army isn't the Russian army of the Soviet Union. They're tough. They're a little bit badass, but I mean, I'm hearing reports that these fucking Russian soldiers were on Tinder in the Ukraine trying to hook up with Ukrainian broads at night. There was a whole fucking garrison that marched into a town and got lost and started asking the locals for fucking directions. And they took them as POWs. So it's not exactly going according to Hoyle for him. But it is inevitable. If we don't provide them with any assistance, the Ukraine will be lost within probably by Monday. Now, here's the problem we run into. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now, Putin and Xi Jinping in China both said at some point they have a very tight relationship, and I believe it was before the Olympics. They basically said that the rest of the world should not interfere in what they're doing. And Putin even said if anybody assists the Ukraine, the consequences are going to be dire. Russia has nukes. Okay, they're a little bit fucking nuts. So what does Joe Biden do? He imposes sanctions that aren't going to take effect for like 30 days. So what the fuck good is that? Okay? He's going to try and bankrupt Russia. Like I said last week, they used to be fucking poor. They're not worried about that. Okay? Plus, I'm sure they have this already figured. Okay? They can't kick them out of the SWIFT banking system because we need the fucking oil. So does the rest of Europe. So Europe, even if we want to kick them out, because we can always reopen our pipelines, which we should have done already, but God forbid we do. Misinformation, But long story short, Europe isn't going to do that, especially Germany, because they're getting all of their energy from fucking Russia. So we got a little bit of a fucking Mexican standoff here. Now, if we do nothing, we're basically reneging on a fucking ironclad guarantee. So you know what that does? It makes the United States uncredible. And now we lose credibility with all of our other allies, and they go, wait a minute, the fuck? They let the Ukraine swing. What's to stop them from doing the same to us? So now we got a problem there. If we do something, if we send guns, we send planes, we do something, we're basically declaring war on Russia, and that's not going to fucking work well. Here's why. Okay? Russia's not the big problem here. Okay, this was like, this is like World War II all over again. So people, this is why they should always teach history in school. Okay? Russia's not the big problem here. This is sleight of hand. This is a fucking distraction. Now, like I said, Putin, after he sacks the Ukraine, he's definitely going to move into the Baltics. Okay, he's going to go after Romania. He's going to go after Poland. He's going to move into the Baltics, which are all NATO nations. And once he does that, he declares war on NATO. It becomes World War III. But first, he has to get the Ukraine. Okay, and the reason why he's so... he can't take on the whole world by himself. He's going to need a friend. Remember I said him and Xi Jinping are pretty tight? And Ping was making overtures towards Taiwan earlier in the year. Did we forget about this? He wants to annex Taiwan or conquer Taiwan back into the Chinese Communist Party. I said they're pretty close, right? I even called them Captain Communism. You see where I'm going with this? This is sleight of hand. Remember, like, not that long ago, maybe less than a month ago, we were seeing images of China mobilizing their fucking army? It's tremendous. And they were testing laser-guided missiles and all kinds of fucking high-tech weapons. Remember that? You don't see a fucking pattern here. Kids, come on. So this is sleight of hand. Pay attention over here while they're mobilizing over here. And then those Chinese bastards are going to come at us from both fucking angles, like Germany and Japan did. Remember that? Huh? Okay? I'm just saying, I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm fucking wrong here. But so far I've been fucking right on the money. Now, what does this mean for the United States right now with this fucking Russian-Ukrainian invasion? Well, simple. It's going to hit us in the fucking pockets. Okay? See, Donald Trump kind of had this already. He was already planning a contingency in case something stupid like this should happen. That's why he was like, make America great again. He wanted everything back in America. He wanted to depend on foreign anything. That's why he opened all the pipelines. That's why he wanted to be energy independent. Okay, we got a lot of oil in America, but the feds will stop you from fucking drilling for it. Okay, we have a lot of everything that we need right here, but we outsource it. Why? Okay. For global fucking friendship or whatever, fungal. So he realized that. That's why he wanted to consolidate everything. That's why he sanctioned the fuck out of China. Okay? He wanted more production here, not rely on Chinese steel, not rely on anything from China. Okay? Because they're fucking ripping us off. He let the Saudis choke on their fucking oil. Same with the Europeans. Okay? Biden made all that fucking go away. So here's what happens now. Because we're getting a majority of our oil right now from Russia, this war is going to make the fucking price of oil go through the goddamn roof. Okay, it's already gone up. It's almost $5 a gallon now to fill up your goddamn car. Heating oil, forget about it. It's out of control, right? So there's that. That's not going away overnight. Okay, not to mention this chip shortage that we keep hearing about, where car manufacturers are having difficulty getting chips from China because of the fucking supply chain crisis and all that other bullshit, and you can't get a new fucking car, or if you do, they want to gouge the price tree, $4,000-$5,000 over sticker. Well, it's going to get worse because the neon gases that are needed to make these chips come from the fucking Ukraine. Okay? And if they're not producing it because they're fighting the war, there's no chips being made in China, and it's not getting to the United States. Car manufacturers are not going to be able to produce vehicles. Unless you want to go back to the basics where you had a fucking, like an old muscle car, an engine and the car, no onboard computer. The only electronics came off the fucking ignition and the alternator, which, hey, listen, I'm okay with that. We go back to fucking old cars like that, old solid steel, fast motherfucking muscle cars. I'm totally cool with that, okay? I don't need magic fingers in my seat. Yes, it's nice, but I can heat my own seats. All I got to do is stop at Taco Bell, got a couple of fucking burritos. Boom, that seat's heated, okay? You know what I'm saying? Might heat it a little too good, but, but that's my point. So, this is going to fucking hurt the economy. That hasn't even bounced back yet from COVID, okay? Which, if you want to even get into all of that bullshit, that's a holy, a fucking mysterious virus comes here from China, cripples the country. Then look at this fucking snowball chain of events. I mean, if I was a conspiracy theorist, which I'm not, but if I was, I would think this is a pretty elaborate fucking plan, don't you think? It's almost like the Star Wars prequels. Okay, which, yeah, I know, very controversial. People said they sucked. But if you look at the way the Emperor planned everything before he took over the whole fucking galaxy, it's almost fucking similar. Create a crisis, little sleight of hand, and before you know it, bing, bang, boom, the whole fucking world is blowing up all around you. Now, on the upswing, see, I always like to find the silver lining of every cloud. I've come to the realization that the word Putin is a fun word to say once you take the malevolence out of it. I understand people in the Ukraine may not be too thrilled with this, but I keep hearing it on the news. Putin, 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 Putin. And I keep hearing it in Russian in my head. I don't know why, but I keep hearing it in a Russian accent in my head. And it's like you would almost think it's like, the Russian way of saying poop. Oi, Putin. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think a guy like a guy by the name of Vladimir Putin would be such a fucking Looney Tune. I mean, like, you kind of like figure he'd be like a little cartoon guy. But I mean, like I said, I don't know why, but the word Putin is a fun word to say. It's like you could pretty much use it anywhere. I mean, I'm sure Vladimir Putin loves his name. He probably says it all the time, I make a Putin in my hand and I throw it in your face. Don't be upset. It's not a Russian disgrace. You were Ukraine, now you'll be Russian. If you don't like it, your head I'll be crushing. Don't be sad or do a crazy dance. All you have to do is put some Putin in your pants. Okay, kids, get your tickets out on that note. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express into mayhem and fuckery. All aboard! Doot, doot. Crazy train's about to leave the station. First stop, New York City. So, Mayor Motherfucker has a new plan to make the subways in New York City safer. Well, thank God. He says that he's going to put more police in the subways and have them remove the homeless people from the trains and stations. Well, clearly, this is a fucking well thought out plan. Simple, right? So, first, what they're going to do, okay, is they're going to start with a rule that once the train has reached its final destination, everyone must exit. Really? You think? And when you chase, and then at the end of the night, they're gonna chase all the bums out of the fucking subway. And where do you think they're gonna go? You think they're just gonna oh, let me get to a shelter? I mean, they know where the shelters are. They don't like to go there. Okay? So where do you think they're gonna go? They're gonna go everywhere else, like fucking cockroaches. You don't see the crime rate going up now? Okay? Here's what I would do. If I was, I should have ran for fucking mayor. If I knew that the only people that the Republicans were gonna pick was fucking Curtis Silva, who can't go 3 minutes on a pet and a fucking cat like a psychopath, okay, I would have ran. I'd have cleaned up the goddamn city in about 45 minutes. Okay, that's it, done. I mean, yes, it would be martial law for a hot minute, shoot everybody on the fucking street that don't belong there. But I guarantee you, nobody would be committing any crimes. It'd be safe. It'd be nice. It'd be like a nice little utopia. Here's what I would do now, okay? Couple options. Now, understand something, okay? These homeless people, most of them are fucking junkies. Matter of fact, they're probably all junkies at this point, okay? It's not like, they just decided that they want to live on the street. They're fucking junkies. You cannot, they're mentally irregular. You cannot rehabilitate these people nor fix them. You cannot fix crazy. Okay? You could medicate it, but you can't fix it. All right? Trust me. I know. All right? So, you put them in a shelter, they're going to come out. They're going to fucking hit people over the head. They're going to attack people. They're nuts. They're jerking off in the street. We just don't need them. I'll say it. I know it's fucking harsh. Kill them. It's like a dog. Okay? I like dogs better than people. But if you got a dog that's malfunctioning, what do? They put it in the pound and they euthanize it. No one's going to adopt these fucking homeless people. They smell. You can't even wash them enough that'll make them clean. So you know what? And I'm not worried about offending the homeless people, because if they got a fucking iPhone and they're able to get onto the internet and watch this show, then they're probably not fucking homeless. Okay? Some of them are homeless fakers where they pretend to be bums and beg for money. I told you about that in past episodes. And meanwhile, they're cleaning up. I'm talking about these legitimate fucking bums that have about 6 months worth of shit in their pants. Okay? These people. What I would do is just gather them all up. I mean, listen, right now, the Blasio's plan was to kill them slowly by letting them, opening up, these, safe drug places where they could go and, do drugs safely and slowly OD on the fucking city's dollar. That ain't killing them. That's enabling death, okay? That's like handing someone who's suicidal a loaded weapon. Yeah, you didn't pull the trigger, but you gave him a fucking loaded gun and go, here, put this against your head, So, basically, let's just cut to the chase. You get, one of these big fucking trucks, right? You throw some drugs in there. You get them out of the subway and go, look, guys, look, there's drugs in the truck. They all jump in. Maybe it's a big cage. Okay? And they're all in there. They're all drugged up. And you drive around the city. You round them all up. Now, you can do a couple of things here. You take a crane with this cage full of people, douse them with some soap and bleach maybe, and just dunk them in the fucking East River a few times until you wash them. They wash golf balls until they're, clean-ish. And then you can, I would just let the crane go, and when the bubbles stop, pull pull the thing up and you get rid of all the homeless people. But if that's too fucking harsh for some people, like I'm sure some people went, oh my God, he wants to kill the homeless. All right, so we don't kill him. We wash him a little bit, and then we bring him to Washington, D.C. Just let him run free out there. Like when you bring a dog to the country, you let it run free. Same thing, okay? Or better still, what I would do, if killing them is not as frowned upon, I'd put like a little note on them. And I would, I'm homeless, please care for me. And like I'd leave them on doorsteps of like, all these fucking liberal like senators and Congress people. And maybe not even just the liberals. I would do it to some Republicans too. Like I'd bring one to Mitch McConnell's house. Yeah, ring the doorbell. Go look for the guy with the fucking vagina attached to his neck. Lindsey Graham. I would send one over to him too, but definitely Schumer, AOC, Pelosi, I'd send her 4. The other ones, Maxine Waters. Yeah, go ring the doorbell. Tell the person inside you want some ice cream. Go ahead, go. Yeah, I mean, you see how fast they start killing them. What's going on? You see Schumer with his glass. What's going on? Why are these people here? Yeah, that's what I would do with these fucking homeless people. This subway thing ain't gonna work, Eric. I got news for you. All right, next stop, Spotify. The entire Joe Rogan experience mysteriously vanished from Spotify twice this week. This goes back to what I'm saying. Misinformation. They fucking get rid of you. Joe, you should have taken that offer from Rumble. What can I tell you? I beat you to it. If you need a place to mail the check, you just let me know. And I'll give you an address. Next stop, Australia, down under. So a popular restaurant in Sydney, Australia, where the elite and famous from everywhere like to hang out, called Bedouin, is now banning any customers with tattoos, heavy jewelry, and designer clothes from entry so it doesn't intimidate the other customers. Well, shit. If they didn't want me to come there, they should have just said so. Okay? Instead of going through all of this fucking trouble. All right? I have no desire to go to that upside down country anyway. All right? Kids, your sports update. Well, NHL, Penguins and Rangers Saturday at 3. Sunday, the Rangers play the Canucks at 7:30. The Islanders and the Kings at 10:30 tonight. And Sunday, they play the Ducks at 8:30. NBA, Nets and Bucks Saturday at 8:30. Knicks and Heat tonight at 7:30. And Sunday, the Sixers at 1 o'clock. And the Bulls and Grizzlies Saturday at 8. On what the fuck is that? We're going to talk about Malamars. Now, everybody knows what a chocolate Malamar is, right? And if you haven't, then I don't know where the fuck you've been spending your life. You're doing it wrong. They're delicious. It's kind of like a s'mores, but better. You don't have to cook it. Graham cracker cookie with like a dollop of marshmallow, and it's covered in a nice dark chocolate coating. They're delightful. A lot of times they were seasonal. Like you'd see them like they'd come out between like September and March, and buy 2 for 1 type of thing, and you hoard them, and they put them in the refrigerator. They're good. I love them. One of my favorite cookies, right? Well, apparently they could be racist. I'm not kidding. It's not an original. See, Malamars were created by a guy in West New York, New Jersey. That's actually a town in like the fucking like ass end of Jersey, like the tip of Jersey, right when it meets the tunnel. And he sold it to a grocer in Hoboken, and they took off. They got real popular. But it wasn't an original thought. See, he was inspired by a German confection, which was basically the same thing, only it wasn't called a Malamar. They called them Negerkuss, which in German translates to Negro kisses. That's right, you heard me. Take a look at the box. Okay? If that ain't fucking racist branding, I don't know what is. Granted, it's Germany. No one's really surprised. But that's what inspired Malamars. German cookies that were called Negro kisses. And they look delicious. There's a lot more marshmallow on them. As a matter of fact, it doesn't look like a kiss at all. It looks more like a nipple. Like a Negro nipple. Like they should have called them Neger Brustwarzen, which is German for Negro nipple. Leave it to the Germans to take a pleasant little word like nipple and turn it into something angry, like Brustwarzen. doesn't sound like, I mean, like when you say nipple, like you kind of smile a little bit. Say Brustwarzen, you want to like start a war. Like I don't, don't worry. They've since changed the packaging and like don't start like marching on Germany now. There's enough problems in Europe. Okay, the Germans changed the packaging. They realized calling it Negerkuss nowadays is probably not very politically correct, so they changed it to Super Dickman. Okay, I they went from Negro Kisses to Dickman. They still look like nipples. I don't know what to tell you. All right, kids, on Right or Racist. Muslim extremists are responsible for roughly 27% of all terror-related deaths on United States soil, per FBI data between 1980 to 2005. Well, that's racist. You see, it's not even by a long shot. Actually, Muslims only accounted for 6%, trailing radical Jews by 7%, white terror groups at 24%, and Latinos at 42%. So the highest percentage of domestic terror comes from the Latino community. Anyone feel like building a wall now? All right, kids, your PSA. So, we've all heard the term girl power, and it's fucking an enraging term to me. And here's why. Like, I know right away, your asshole's all puckered, I know. Because the people who say this are always like these like spoiled, entitled women. Like they'll put like a picture up or they'll tweet something like, like they have like a fucking like, the new pair of shoes, or they bought they got a Tesla, or like their kid like, went entire day without shitting themselves, and girl power, look, girl power. They're getting their fucking nails done. Girl power. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Don't pat yourself on the back for shit you didn't earn. Okay? Because like I said, these are entitled women. They're not doing anything fucking. They think they're contributing to society because they volunteered at a soup kitchen at one point, or they donated like, some money to some fucking like BLM bullshit. But you didn't do nothing. These are fucking women, all right? Most of them are liberals, by the way. Sorry, it's true. That just married well. That's the only accomplishment they're patting themselves on the back for having the ability of sucking a cock like they lost their fucking keys in it. That's their only real skill right there. Okay? They really give a good blowjob. So they married well. They don't have to work. They don't really do shit. Their husband pays for everything. Okay, just because their name's on a fucking credit card. And they're patting themselves on the back like they're something special. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, he's a misogynist. He's a sexist. He's a narcissist, or whatever other kind of cyst. Here's who really has girl power. If you really want to know. See, I'm not any of those cysts you're thinking of. I just say it like it is. The single mother who's got 2 jobs and holding it down, puts a roof over her kid's head, food on a fucking table, can knock back a few on a Friday night, and the kids don't even know they're fucking poor. That's girl power right there. That's who should be patting themselves on the back. But you know what? They're not. You know why? They're too busy busting their ass and fucking hustling. And that's who should really, really get the accolade of girl power. Anyway, kids, stay COVID-less. No mask. Don't ask. Haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up. I'll see you when I see you.